Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Allie. In today's video, I have episode 12 or 13 in my Disney DIY series. I have not filmed one of these in so long and it felt so nice to be creative again. All of these crafts are inspired by Pinterest. If you guys are interested in these types of videos, I'm going to link two playlists in the description below. The first one being my DIY playlist, where I have pretty much every single DIY that I've created on this channel for the past like 5 or 6 years that I've been here on YouTube. And I'm also going to link my Disney playlist, where I have everything from DIY videos, how-tos, tutorials, vlogs, informational videos. I have tips and tricks videos. There's a lot of Disney content in that playlist. So I'm going to link all those in the description below if you guys are interested in checking them out. I do just want to throw out there that I like to film on fabric to make the video a little bit more brighter and just, you know, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. But unfortunately, with everything going on in the world right now, which I hope everybody is being safe and healthy, I wasn't able to get to a craft store to buy some pretty fabric. So I did just film on my wooden dining room table. It's not nearly as aesthetically pleasing as I would like it to be, but the tutorial is there, I absolutely promise. If you guys enjoy these types of videos and you would like to see more, please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment, share, whatever you would like to do. It really does help. If you have any other questions and concerns after watching this video, just ask them in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get on into it. I have not filmed one of these in so long. This kind of feels wild, but I'm starting off using some aqua beads. I found these on Google. I've never heard of these before. If you guys have heard of them, let me know, but this is brand new to me and this was so much fun. Basically, I bought the aqua bead set and then I looked up some templates online. If you just Google princess templates or Disney aqua bead templates, a ton come up, and I just follow the directions. Basically, you just take little aqua beads, you put them in the pen. You don't necessarily need the pen. You can buy the whole kit online. It's kind of pricey. I will link it in the description below, or you can just buy the actual refill set and use your fingers. It is a lot more time consuming, but it completely depends on your budget and if you want to get the full kit or not. I have to say, this was so therapeutic for me. So what I did was I just followed the template. I put all the little aqua beads in the pen and I switched off all the little capsules and I created Cinderella. Full disclosure, you definitely need a lot of beads for this. So if you buy the kit, you're going to need to buy the refill kit as well, because if you buy the kit, you don't get a lot of aqua beads. I had to buy the full kit and the refill set in order to have enough to do all the princesses that I created. So unlike perla beads, where you iron the beads to set them in place, with the aqua beads you just use water. So they fuse together with water. So I just took a spray bottle and I saturated the aqua beads, and then I put the little capsule, whatever you want to call this, on top, and I let it set for about 15 minutes. Moving on to quite possibly my favorite DIY in this video. It is a little coin purse. You're taking a stuffy, a Disney stuffy. I'm using this little alien emoji pillow. I believe it is a pillow. And you're going to cut the top off and then take all of the stuffing out. P.S. This is not specific just for a coin purse. If you have a stuffy at home, a stuffed animal, and you want to cut the back out and take all the stuffing out, you can make a really cool backpack using this method. I then went in with a zipper that I got from Michael's craft store. I'm pretty sure you can get these at any local craft store near you. And I'm putting the zipper right inside, and I'm just using a hand sewing method. There are so many different hand sewing methods on the internet. If you have a sewing machine, that would work as well, but I just want it to be nice and casual and nice and simple. So I'm just doing a little in and out hand sewing method all around the front, and then I'm bringing it all the way around into the back as well. I know that most of these DIYs are geared towards DIYs that kids would love, and I think that kids would absolutely love this DIY, but they might just need a little bit of parent supervision to help out with the hand sewing or actual sewing on a machine part. Once you are done sewing your zipper securely onto your coin purse, just make sure that you are tightly knotting it. You want to make sure this is maybe the most important part. You're adding a very firm, very tight, very secure knot so that over time it doesn't dishevel and rip apart. Stop, it's so cute. It is exactly what I wanted it to be and more. When you are completely done, you can go in with a pair of scissors and you can just cut off any of the excess fabric and just clean it up a little bit, or you can just keep it exactly how you have it. It is so flipping adorable. I actually do this next DIY with my students quite often. It is one of my favorite things. The end result is so cool. I know right now it looks very wacky, but I promise you in the end it's going to look really amazing. What you want to do is take a thick piece of paper. I am using some white cardstock, and then you just want to take some markers or any coloring supplies that you have. You can use crayons, you can use paint, you can use colored pencils, and you just want to do a bunch of different random strokes all over the paper. Depending on the size of your Mickey Mouse head, you want to go in and cut out strips that are going to fit that size. Then you just want a way of making your Mickey Mouse heads. Now, I found this Mickey Mouse puncher on, I believe, Amazon. I will link it in the description below if I can find it. It is like 3 years old, but this is not necessary. I don't use this with my students. I just trace out a Mickey Mouse head, and I will trace every single one of those onto the paper and then cut them out. This is definitely a lot easier. You just want to punch out a bunch of Mickey Mouse heads. But again, this is not necessary. You can use pencil and a scissor. It's going to, again, take a lot longer, but it is totally worth the time. It's actually quite therapeutic. Throw on some music, take a pencil, trace out a Mickey Mouse head, and go to town. Personally, stop right here. You are left with this really cool psychedelic abstract Mickey Mouse confetti. I use this a lot when I'm sending out my Poshmark packages. I like to throw it on top because it just adds a little sprinkle, a little extra sprinkle of magic. Or you can go in and make an abstract art piece. So I took another piece of that white cardstock, and I'm just taking all those Mickey Mouse heads and I'm placing them in a order that I think looks really cute. I'm kind of making like a dot board, I guess you would call it, except I'm not using dots, I'm using Mickey Mouse heads. Then I'm just taking some hot glue and I'm hot gluing on all the Mickey Mouse heads to that white cardstock. So I love the way that this looks, as in I think this is like an 8 by 11 piece of paper. Unfortunately, I do not have an 8 by 11 frame, so I did cut it down to a 5 by 7. Normally I would just go to the store and purchase an 8 by 10 or 8 by 11 frame, but unfortunately with the coronavirus going on right now, can't really get out of my house to go shopping, so I decided to just use a 5 by 7 frame instead. This one is one of my favorites because not only is it really fun to make, it's extremely practical. This is something that I would probably use on the daily. I use scrunchies like nobody's business. What you want to do is just take a sock. It preferably could be a Disney sock, but it could just be any sock, and you could use it for a Disney bound outfit. I'm taking this Toy Story one that says Andy on the bottom. I wanted to make sure that I use the side that had Andy, and I just cut the piece of fabric off that covered the toe. Then I took a little stretchy fabric piece. You can get these at pretty much any arts and crafts store. And then I'm just gonna go in again with a needle and thread, and I'm going to hand sew the piece together. Once it has been sewn in place and it is nice and secure, I gave it a nice little tug to make sure it was, not going anywhere. I did the exact same thing with the outside. I took the two end pieces, I attached them together, and then I just hand sewed all of those pieces together. I made sure that I kept pulling it tight so it gave that roughly scrunchy effect. And to make it a little bit easier, I kept putting it inside out and inside out, inside out, inside out, just to make sure I was getting every little last crevice. I personally think using a sewing machine would be the best method for this DIY because this is something that you're going to be stretching continuously, but I know that that is not feasible for everybody. So if you do not have a sewing machine, absolutely use the hand sewing method. Just really make sure that you are going over it multiple times and doing it as tight as you possibly can because you want it to be secure. When you're pulling at it, it should not move at all. Next up is going to be the Mickey Mouse Dreamcatcher. I actually made something similar to this, or pretty much identical to this, in another one of my Disney DIYs. So again, I'm going to link that in the description below. I'll link my whole entire Disney playlist if you guys are interested. I am just taking, I think these are called embroidery hoops. I'm taking a large one and two smaller ones, and then I'm taking some white shimmery, almost like iridescent pipe cleaners, and I'm wrapping them all the way around. If you don't have pipe cleaners, you can use yarn, you can use fabric, you can use anything to cover up the actual embroidery hoop. Spoiler alert, this is not a traditional dream catcher. I actually got a lot of hate in the other video for the way that I was making my dream catcher, that it's not authentic, that is not real. Completely understandable. I personally just enjoy doing it this way. I am team there's no right or wrong way to make a dream catcher. I am team just have fun with it. So that is what I am doing here. I'm just taking the string and I'm wrapping it around the embroidery hoop, and I'm basically just weaving it in and out until I get a design that I'm happy with and a design that makes me feel proud. As always, make sure to tie a very tight knot at the end and then repeat this process with the larger embroidery hoop and the other smaller embroidery hoop. Hot glue the Mickey ears onto the Mickey head and then take one of your excess pipe cleaners and wrap it around for some extra stability. Again, just take one of those pipe cleaners and wrap it around so that the head is being attached to the Mickey ear in a secure manner. Final step is just to accessorize. In the first version that I did in my previous DIY, I had things hanging from it. This one I wanted to be a little bit more simplistic, so I just added flowers, but you can add beads, you can add feathers, you can add pretty much whatever you want. Whatever your heart desires. Last up, we are making some Shrinky Dinks pins.
Also, something that I will link down below, I got mine from Amazon. If you've never heard of Shrinky dinks, they're exactly what they sound like. I was blown away. I still don't understand the science behind this, but they shrink down to like 10 times their size. So whatever you're making for these, you have to make sure you make them extremely large, and then when you put them in the oven, they shrink down to like, I believe it is 10 times their size. So I just started off by making a template on a piece of cardstock, and then I'm taking the little Shrinky dink plastic, I put it on top of the cardstock, and I'm just tracing out my actual pattern with a black Sharpie. Once I had the actual template down and I traced it out, I'm just taking my markers. I'm using Sharpie. I would definitely suggest using a Sharpie for this. Do not use like a Crayola type marker because those will smudge. You want something that is pretty permanent. And I'm just going in and I'm coloring in all the sections that I wanted to be specific colors. P.S. I have the Shrinky dink paper on top of a piece of white cardstock because the Shrinky dink paper is completely see-through. It is like plastic and I couldn't really see on my wooden table. So I just put it on cardstock to make it pop out a little bit more. As you can see here, you can see the difference between the Shrinky dink and the actual cardstock. But then you want to go in and you want to very carefully cut out your image. Very carefully, because it rips quite easily. Finally, take your Shrinky dink image, put it on some tin foil, and then bake it in the oven according to the directions. Make sure you're doing marker side up. And then you just get to watch the magic happen. Like, look how small these get. It's so cool. I don't know the science behind this, but I am blown away. Finally, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the goal for making these little Shrinky dinks was to make DIY pins out of them to put like on jean jackets or backpacks or whatever it may be. Unfortunately, I didn't have the pins with me currently, and I just can't go to the market right now or any arts and crafts supply store because of everything that is going on with the world. And I also didn't want to hold off on this video until I could finally get them because nobody quite knows when that might be right now. So the goal eventually, when I get those pin backs, is to glue them onto the back and make cute little DIY pins.
And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any suggestions of Disney type videos that you would like to see on my channel, DIYs that you would like me to test out or try out, just let me know. I plan on doing a Disney food related video in the near future where I show some Disney DIY snacks, meals, everything in that genre. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day, and again, above all, I hope you're all being safe and healthy and staying home. I love you to the moon and back. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye guys.